Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Oplerno Team Meeting 47 in our public section of it. Today we're here with five of our team members, five out of this, and we're going to be talking about, we're going to be doing some introductions, celebrating a newborn child that has arrived onto the team, talking about upcoming lessons, questions from the faculty. We'll also announce some new courses and some new initiatives that we'll be talking about, and all sorts of good stuff. So first, I would like to introduce B. Hamarang, and she is going to be our director of marketing. And B's located in the Philippines. She found us through Angel List, and I'll just let her do sort of a little mini introduction. I'll let her sort of do a mini introduction of herself.
Okay, so mini introduction. As Rob already said, I'm located in the Philippines, and I did find you guys through AngelList. For Oplerno, I decided to join because, well, higher education is very meaningful, and there's a lot of opportunity here for the right sort of disruption. What do I do? I'm a marketer, of course, but my heart's in storytelling, so I work a lot with branding and narratives for companies. I'm also a writer, but at the heart of it, I just like spreading stories that are worth spreading, which is what I'm going to be doing at Oplerno, and I'm very excited.
One of the things that really attracted us about B was the fact that while she attended school, she also left to pursue her writing career. And so she's got a ton of different skills in lots of areas, and just a perfect match for the team, and her along with Sujin and the rest of us, and Daniel and Dan and I, we really are going to be spending a lot of time sort of pushing Oplerno's profile and building the story, which is what we're all about. The next thing, and B will be chiming in about all kinds of different things in the course of the meeting, and then of course during our closed meeting. Next thing is Michael Lee had a child on February 13th, which was this Friday, a little girl, and so he's going to be probably a bit busy the next couple of weeks with the newborn, and we wish Michael and his family and his wife all the best. And so yeah, it's nice to have another team member producing a child. That was really bad. Anyway, tacky. Moving on. Upcoming classes.
Producing.
Yeah, making a child. Anyway, upcoming classes. Let's go to that before I embarrass myself any further. Dan, do you want to talk about that?
Sure. We have Introduction to Online Learning for Students by Dr. Grover. It's a really well put together class. We were really impressed with her ability and work in creating the layout and the pedagogy and the content. So I'm going to pull up when that starts, and I'll also mention while I do that we have 3 classes that are very, very close to being finished. One or 2 of them are a product of the Oplerno course development for faculty class / clinic / mini course that has been going on, and we're going to have Introduction to Employment Law, which could be relevant for a lot of different levels of learners, as well as a lot of different situations, from the traditional college student to perhaps somebody working in HR or a team at a company who needs a brush up or on the legalities surrounding the ethics and laws of employment. We're having Intro to Sustainability from Michael Abrams. That's another product of the course, and that's going to be one of our first science offerings, as well as one of the cornerstones of our science and sustainability certificate. And then we have College Writing from Melissa Smith, another powerful course. Her mission is very much to get students up to pace on college level writing, which, having worked and taught at the college level with students in advising and as well as grading papers and even reading emails, I think the traditional college student who's coming out of high school and in college could use very much a brush up and a solid base in writing. Dr. Grover's class begins on the 19th. It's $300 as of this point, and of course it'll be 3 credits. You can check that out. We'll put a link in the comments after the meeting is over.
It's already in there, so.
Oh, Daniel's on it, of course. Should have known. All right, and that's all from. So 4 new classes or offerings coming up, and of course, as a faculty member, that's our goal right now. We can't teach classes that we don't have, so get your classes up to date. You know, we're here to support you. We have a bigger team now, as you can tell, what is nice, and it allows folks to concentrate a little more on, I guess, what our defined roles are, rather than having to sort of glob together as a homogenous role going forward. So now that we have marketing and community folks, we have Michael on finance stuff, I can sort of shift back to faculty stuff, and Daniel can get back, dive deep on the tech stuff, and then Rob can continue his, holding the flag at the front lines for us, which he does so well. That's it from me.
All right, thanks, Dan. We also I want to talk a little bit about a couple of things with faculty support, and then also give Sujin a chance to talk about the work she's been doing on the breakdown of the website and such. So we've gotten a really great proposal that we're going to be talking about in the closed meeting about faculty support. As you know, myself and Dan and Daniel have been offering a 6-week class on course development for Oplerno faculty. After sort of the first couple of weeks, we realized that these support classes could be a lot shorter and a little bit more specialized. We've also realized that different faculty members have different levels of expertise when they're dealing with technology, whether we're talking about Google Hangouts or Canvas or any of the other programs that we use. So we actually had a great proposal for sort of an a la carte faculty support piece, which includes some classes and some development work. And we'll go over that a lot more next week. But suffice it to say, those of you who were thinking about signing up for the next 6-week class, we talked a little bit about that last week. Give us another week and we'll have a whole list of different sort of activities and things that you'll be able to sign up on and work with, and that will most likely be run out of our Canvas platform rather than an news group or some sort of chat program that we use outside. So Sujin, you've done a lot of really great work on the website. Do you want to just talk a little bit about how your what you were up to last week?
All right, so I spent the beginning of my time here looking at the website as if I were a brand new user, which, let's face it, I kind of was. And one of the main things I discovered was that there's not a good balance between student and faculty, promotion. So a lot of the emphasis has been on faculty, but you need faculty so you can get students, you can get faculty so you can get students, and it's a pretty, chicken and egg problem. So one of the things I've been doing is trying to figure out how to position the website so students can realize Oplerno is something they want, and faculty can realize that they can teach a course and leave the adjunct cycle. So some of this so far has been, thinking, brainstorming, making lots and lots of notes for saying, okay, we need better copy here and here and here. And then part N+1, once all that is done, will be on the design. So the plan is to get the copy, and arrangement of the website down pat, and then move on to design.
And that's something that we've really needed. The first iteration of the website was to deal with the accreditation and the State Board of Education. And now that we've been approved, and we're going to be able to focus much more on those two pieces, thanks to Sujin. And that I'm really looking forward to working on that also in the next couple of weeks.
You just mentioned accreditation. We are not yet fully accredited.
Correct. We are approved to offer courses for transfer credit by the state of Vermont. Thanks, Dan. No, you got. Hey, we want to make sure that we are absolutely crystal clear with that language. Okay, questions from the faculty. Why don't we go directly to that? I'll read it out, and then Dan, why don't you take this one? Hello, as the new guy, I'm wondering how many student instructors are typically having sign up and what the retention is like for them. Sorry, I can't attend a live crowdcast, but I have classes occurring at this time in the AM.
You want me to take this?
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Sadler's course has been our first launched, and I guess students have made it through the ad drop period, so now they've committed, for lack of a better term, they're into it and they're sticking around. He's got a class of 2 with a third interested person who might not have made the enrollment deadline, but just as a side note, enrollment deadlines, while we have an idea of what we think is a good setup, faculty can work with a student in whatever capacity they want. If it's 3 weeks in and the class is small and the faculty member is willing to catch that student up and the student's willing to pay for that time and content, that's between them. We don't need to impose any sort of limits other than what makes sense for our own accounting and workflow. But so Dr. Sadler is one of our paragon flagship entrepreneurial course developing, input giving, just full of, is a very rich member of the community in that way. And he has successfully gotten 2 students on board. They're cruising through their course now. And yeah, we had 2 students sign up for the intro to professional kitchen management, but they never showed up. We don't know where they are. If you're out there listening, we still have your refund ready for you. And
so let me just interrupt here. What we're really looking forward for in terms of faculty is people like Dr. Sadler, who have a network that they energize, and they reach out to the students that they've had in the past. And so what we're going to be doing over the next month or 2 is also creating some tools for the faculty to send out to their networks and to the students, and also to raise our profile. And one of the reasons why B is on board is to get us better at telling our story, because Oplerno's got a great story about helping adjuncts receive better pay. We've also lowered the cost for students, but we haven't taken off yet. We have traction amongst faculty, but we don't have traction amongst students. But those of you who've been at the team meeting know that that's what we're concentrating on. So that was a great question from a new guy who was taking the class. And keep coming to the team meetings and reading our updates, and you'll see how we're progressing along that line. All right. So let's go to. Someone wrote down about the internship programs at tech companies and local groups, local sort of NGOs.
Yeah, this was it's actually a tweet by P. Marker. It's I can never remember who it is, but the guy who started Netscape. I thought that was actually quite interesting that he was one of the things that he tweeted, which was about this internship, because we're also working on an internship program, of course, so that people can come and be interns with Oplerno. But it's one of the things that I think that we could also focus on internships for external companies, and as one of the things that I thought I was hoping actually Michael, I forgot that Michael wasn't going to be here, but I was hoping we'd be able to discuss with Michael as well about this possibility of having people working with us and doing internship programs with us, and also internship programs towards external companies.
Dan Kirk has developed a good outline of our internship program that we're ready to launch once we have one or two of these companies signed up. That should happen hopefully in the next month. I just got done talking with a potential local NGO who wants to offer an internship dealing with food systems and run it through Oplerno along with some classes. So that's kind of like on our business development piece. I think you're right. Internships are going to be critical in the next several years as we work hard on trying to figure out ways to document people's skills besides just formal classroom training. And that lowers, again, lowers the cost for the students for them to complete their degrees.
We are also completely able and open to, I don't want to say legitimizing, but offering the credit that a student might get for an internship. Obviously, it'd be much cheaper to do it through Oplerno than through your traditional Institute of Higher Learning. And, of course, we would work with you to have a similar, robust, documented internship program with whatever the organization you're working sets up, and then helping you transfer those credits back to your college or university. There's no reason not to for us not to have that, since it doesn't require necessarily an instructor or a huge amount of course design. It would allow us to use Canvas, set up a space for the intern and the intern provider to document the 12 to 15 week, 30, 15, 45 hours, depending on however many credits you want. We can grant those credits as appropriate to the work you do, and then we'll do everything in our power to get those credits transferred. And we can't guarantee it, of course, but I just anecdotally do not see it as any sort of problem getting any of our courses that we already have, just based on their extreme quality and attentiveness from the faculty, but as well as an internship program we would have just as robust as any other college, and we'd probably work harder than any other college to get those credits transferred for you, since it's so meaningful to us and to you. So just something to think about, that we are going to be looking to offer, or willing to offer and work with, sort of a pilot student now. If there's students or folks who know students out there looking for these opportunities, this is something that we could create together and perhaps set up a new system, a new dynamic, a new way of doing this that saves people a lot of money but still gets you the experience and time out in the workforce that you're looking for.
Well, I think that's about it, unless anybody has anything else they would like to add in terms of something they would like the community to hear about.
No, nothing from me.
Well, if that's it, then thank you very much for attending the open part of our community meeting, 47, and thank you very much, and we'll see you online.